Did you know someone has been walking around the world on foot for over 27 years? Not a few thousand kilometers, tens of thousands. A journey so extreme it makes most adventures look like a stroll in the park. Meet Carl Bushby, a man who decided that walking the world wasn't just a dream, it was a mission, and he's still going. Most people have heard of adventurers like Dave Kunst, who walked around the globe mostly on foot, though he flew across oceans. But Carl? He took things way further. He vowed to walk the longest continuous road on Earth, all 47,000 kilometers, without any outside help. And decades later, he's still walking. Carl Bushby isn't just some random traveler, he's a former English paratrooper. On the 1st of November 1998, with just $500 in his pocket, he stepped off the southern tip of Chile in Punta Arenas and began what he called the Goliath Expedition. His goal? Walk from the tip of South America, through North America, across Russia and Asia, and finally return home to England. A staggering 58,000 kilometers, about 1.5 times the circumference of the Earth. Carl had one simple rule: no motorized transport. Every step, every mile, on his own. If he had to pause, he would start exactly where he left off. Simple? Not even close. This rule brought years of loneliness, bureaucratic headaches, and brushes with death. In Chile, Carl walked along the Pacific coast in the Andes, dodging the worst parts of the Amazon jungle. Patagonia's winds battered him. The Andes climbed like vertical walls. And the Atacama Desert, the world's driest, forced him to carry life-saving water every step. He pulled a small two-wheeled cart with all his essentials, stopping only when absolutely necessary. Then came the Darien Gap, a 320-kilometer stretch of jungle between Colombia and Panama, infamous for poisonous snakes, dense forests, and even guerrilla gangs. Carl survived it all, only to be jailed for 18 days by Panama's police. True to his rules, he restarted from the exact spot he had paused. By 2002, Carl reached the U.S. Walking long highways to avoid traffic, he endured scorching deserts, freezing snow, desolate tundras, and unmarked trails. He refused any motorized help, even sled dogs in Alaska. Then came the Bering Strait, the frozen Arctic link between Alaska and Siberia. Constantly shifting ice left dangerous gaps. Carl swam across several openings with fellow adventurer Dmitry Kiefer, battling hypothermia, storms, and 14 sleepless days. Finally, in Russia, Carl hit a wall. Despite having visas, entering via the Bering Strait was illegal, and he was deported back to the UK. But Carl didn't quit. With interventions from the British Deputy Prime Minister and billionaire Roman Abramovich, he gained entry, but visas were only valid 90 days at a time. Repeated delays forced him to pause for years. When Russia imposed a 5-year ban, he walked 4,800 kilometers across the U.S. to protest outside the Russian embassy, and the ban was lifted. He returned to Siberia, walking 3 months a year while waiting 9 months for visas. Carl continued through the Gobi Desert, China, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. Then came the pandemic and a visa halt in Iran. But Carl refused to stop. In 2022, he built a small boat and crossed 288 kilometers of the Caspian Sea in 31 days, rowing twice a day and sleeping on the boat at night. He then walked into Turkey in 2025, welcomed warmly by locals. In Istanbul, he crossed the Bosphorus Bridge on foot, the only person ever officially allowed to do so. From there, Europe awaited. Carl now has just 3,000 kilometers left to reach the UK, through Bulgaria, Romania, Hungary, Austria, Germany, and France. His final obstacle? The Channel Tunnel. Walking there is forbidden due to high-speed trains, heat, and low oxygen. But Carl is working on special permission to finish his mission. By 2026, he's expected to complete the Goliath Expedition, 58,000 kilometers on foot, 1.5 times around the world. Carl's journey is a testament to human determination, showing that limits are only what we make of them. So next time life feels overwhelming, remember, Carl Bushby is still walking. The world is huge, but with willpower, one person can make it feel small. As Carl himself said, life doesn't stop, only the path changes. If Carl's journey blew your mind, hit that like button. Drop a comment telling us what challenge you'd take on. And subscribe for more incredible stories from around the world. Adventure might be out there, but inspiration, that can start right in your own backyard.